Bonjour, bonsoir mesdames et messieurs, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh et bienvenue pour ce 13e épisode du Crou. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for the last episode of Le Crou. We hit 1,000 views, which is insanely. Imagine of a room with 1,000 people. And all of these people have one comment between them is that they watch my interview. That's it. That's amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, for this 30th, that's goddamn hard to pronounce. 30th interview, we have the founder and owner of the Philadelphia-based wrestling company Labor of Love, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Billy Avery.
Hello, hello. How do you say your name? Tuta?
You can just call me Momo.
Momo.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for accepting my invitation, Mr. Avery. And we're gonna start with your own wrestling career. I want to start off with that first.
Sure.
Uh, I'm gonna list a bunch of names, and I'm gonna see if any of them ring a bell.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
First of all, Avery Boysenberry.
Yeah.
That
Would you like me to elaborate on that?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, in 2012, um, I was pitched a character by Mike Quackenbush, who's the founder, owner of Chikara.
Yes.
Um, Essentially, what he wanted was for my tag team partner and myself was to be a wrestling version of Flight of the Conchords. I'm not familiar if you're familiar with that show, but um, so yeah, my gimmick was Avery Boysenberry. My tag team partner was Leslie Butterscotch, and he also teamed with Orange Cassidy. So we had kind of like I guess a fruit flavored theme to our names.
Oh, that's interesting. The one that intrigues me the most is just Squirt.
Yeah, Squirt. So Squirt was a name that I decided to use in Juggalo Championship Wrestling when I was on tour with them. So that was myself and Puff, and we were Club Soda. I thought it would make more sense if it was Billy Avery and Puff. It's like I thought Squirt would be a good maybe soda focus name. So it was like one word name, Squirt and Puff. So yeah, that's where that came from.
It is also when we go back a little, we see that your first ever match was a in 2012 in a tag
Okay.
team. In a tag team when a gen when you, where you teamed up with a gentleman called the Necrosexual.
Yes.
Can
Yeah, so that
you
was
can you elaborate a little bit on this?
yeah, of course. I mean, so yeah, that was my first. I guess it was my first match in front of an audience. It was they did something called Pro Mania, which was like a improv comedy and a wrestling show. So I was asked to take part in it, and I had never wrestled in front of a crowd before, so I happily did that. Necrosexual was a he's an improv comedian. I believe he's also a musician. I think he's really into black metal, and
That makes sense.
yeah. I think he was a childhood friend of Tim Donst, who was also in the match. So um, that was a lot of fun. I have fond memories of that, just because it was really my first time performing in front of an audience.
Hmm. When we take a deeper look into your career from 2016 to 2019, you've
Mhm.
wrestled a lot for CZW. CZ.
Yeah, Combat Zone Wrestling. So I would do a lot of their Dojo Wars shows, and honestly, the main reason I wanted to do them, first of all, they were actually always really great to me and very supportive. I think I was a comedy character. I still am a comedy character, so maybe I added a little bit a different flavor to what they were doing. A lot of the death matches, higher work rate type stuff. So I was very, I think, different. At the time, I was probably maybe like 130 something pounds. And the idea was that my character was just thought very highly of himself, was very cocky, thought he was very good looking, a movie star essentially. And then I would just come in and get the crap beaten out of me. So one of the main reasons I really enjoyed working
That's
there
a
was with
business for
my
you.
friend.
That's
Yeah,
his business. That's his business for you.
yeah, so I really enjoyed working with my friend Jeff Cannonball. That was something that always brought me back there. So my first time working with them was against Jeff Cannonball, and then match went over so well um, that I continued to come back there. I did a best of five series, I think, against Jeff Cannonball, and I lost three straight matches to him. So, yeah, it was. I very fond memories as well of doing some of those Dojo Wars shows. And then back then, you had guys like Joey Janela, Jimmy Lloyd, MJF. I mean, you could go on and on with the names that used to be on those shows. So it was actually a really, really fun and cool time.
And after after 3 years after 2019, you founded Labor of Love. Uh, First of all, let's talk a little bit about the name. Uh, where did it came from? What's the labor? What's the many labors of love? What's the many?
Well, I don't know if you're familiar, but in English language, labor of love is like something that you do. It's not about money. It's a passion project,
Mhm.
and I thought that was just like the perfect name for a wrestling promotion that I was starting. I wasn't looking to make hundreds of dollars. I was just looking to put on a show, put a lot of work into putting on a show, and giving an outlet to my friends, people like Cheeseburger, Calix, the outfielders. Really wanted to give them a platform, but also wanted to introduce wrestling to an audience that had maybe never seen it before. So that's where the name comes from. It's just, and it continues to be that to this day. We're not, as you can see, I'm currently at my other job. This is yeah. So it does not wrestling does not pay the bills, but it is something that I'm very passionate about, and yeah, I'm currently at my full time job right now.
Uh, yes, it is. It is a sad reality when you see for example, when you see that a couple of big indie companies had to shut down, like DPW
Yeah, yeah.
or Prestige or Prestige
Hmm.
Wrestling. Uh,
Sure.
as the founder of a smaller indie company, do you feel maybe threatened? Do you feel that maybe it could happen? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always pressures about that. At this point, we've been really fortunate where we are seeing growth, and that is a good sign to me. If like we were drawing 200 people one show, and then the next show we were doing 100, that would be pretty concerning to me. Um, I'm kind of waiting. This is horrible to say, but I'm, as a bit of a pessimist that I am sometimes, I'm waiting for the time when maybe it doesn't feel like it can be self-sustainable. As of right now, we're in a really good place. I hope we continue to grow, but there is always a fear of, oh, what if this is no longer self-sustainable? Maybe we're not making the revenue. Maybe we're losing money. Maybe we can't afford to bring in some of the names that we brought in recently. Um, so it's certainly a fear. I mean, obviously, like a promotion like Deadlock and Prestige, these are all promotions that I think we aspire to be like. But so it is a little bit concerning when you see some of those promotions go under. I hope it doesn't happen. It is certainly a concern, but we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and hope that continues to work out.
I frankly, I do wish it for you. Actually, I there's how do you in a world where wrestling has never been this much mainstream and this much big, this much big. Do you think you could become like overshadowed by like the bigger names of the business?
I think that's a good question. I feel like we feel like we're doing our own thing to stand out, if that makes sense. I don't think we're trying to compete with WWE or AEW or New Japan. Um, we have a very niche and strong local crowd. And I think as long as we continue to keep those fans and continue to grow in the local market, we will be okay. I don't necessarily feel overshadowed by them. I think we can reach maybe a different audience than they can, if that makes sense.
I think so too, actually, because it is pretty like evident that you try to be as versatile as possible. When we watch your shows like over on YouTube, it is pretty apparent. It is pretty apparent, I'd say.
Thank you. I mean, like, I think we're lucky as an independent promotion too. Like, WWE, AEW, you don't have fans that are literally feet away from the ring, right? And that's something that we take a lot of pride in. We want to create an intimate atmosphere. We want to take some of those people that maybe have never seen wrestling before, and then they walk into the building, and they're like, "Oh wow, this is actually happening right in front of my face." Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's something that we're really lucky to have.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that that is like the biggest, uh, the most important thing you should have as a independent wrestling company. The proximity with fans is probably the the thing you would like uh, keen on when it comes to like your your way of surviving. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, again, like I just said, like WWE, AEW, there's just something different about the independent wrestling atmosphere compared to what you see on television. I don't know if you have local independent promotions or if you've been to WWE or AEW live, but there is a much different feel between independent wrestling and those mainstream promotions. It has independent wrestling has the opportunity to feel special and intimate and tangible. I mean, we've honestly over the years we've had people come to us and they're like, "How do we get involved in this?" Like, it feels like you can be a part of it too, and that to me is like the ultimate compliment.
Exactly. And what would you say as a founder of a small independent wrestling company? What would say was your biggest feat that you achieved?
Like a hurdle that we've overcome, or just in terms of accomplishment.
Accomplishments, yes.
Man, there's been a lot. I mean, just right now, I think we're at a really good place. It's really cool to be able to sell out venues, and unfortunately have to turn people away. But the fact that we are now, like, we are growing to the point we need to seek out bigger venues to get in as many people as want to see our shows is a tremendous honor in a lot of ways. Things that, where I'm really proud of. We There's a big convention in Philadelphia called Fan Expo. They bring in the stars of the